See that? You see that? Mike law, family law, traffic law, the long arm of the law. Can't man out those boys. All these folks coming up here getting shot before me. Nah, homie, ain't going down like that no more. I'm gonna run the yard from now on. You got a problem with it? You come get with some Homicide got too. Get the out my way, man.
Welcome, everyone, to Catalyst Wrestling. I'm Dave Lee. Last week, we saw O'Shea Edwards completely decimate Homicide's chances at winning the Sapphire TV Championship. And while we haven't heard from the notorious 187 ever since that incident, we have word from our very own Chris Vega that the former Catalyst champion is in Jersey City tonight and has revenge on his mind for the Big Bad Kaiju, who will be taking on former Sapphire TV champion Mike Law, a man who many, including my own esteemed broadcast colleague, Brandon Lewis, believes to be cursed ever since losing that very title, as he joins a list including nearly everyone who's held that championship ever since 2017. When we come back to Catalyst Wrestling, we'll be hearing from the Colossal One himself, and we'll also be announcing what will be next week's main event. All that and more right here on Catalyst Wrestling.
Are your loans becoming too much of a monster for you to handle? Let Fresh Start Advancement help you get in the ring and take on any challengers, including financial coaching, debt negotiation, loan modifications, and more. Call FSA now at 201-870-0473 or go online to freshstartadvancement.com.
Fresh Start Advancement. They give you the ability to fight for your dreams as well as your family. So get it right and start fresh with Fresh Start Advancement.
Experience the peak of New York nightlife at any of Sapphire's 3 locations in the heart of New York City. World-class food, world-class bartenders, and world-class entertainment and atmosphere, Sapphire New York will leave you wanting more. Find out on how you can have an elite experience at nysapphire.com. Are you a wrestling fan, boxing fan, or just want something cool to wear or show off on your next work call? Pro-Am Belts is your source for not only high-quality championship belts, but plaques and chains. Celebrate your fantasy sports triumph, Employee of the Month bragging rights, or get the perfect gift for weddings, birthdays, even a treat for that special someone with Pro-Am Belts. Head to proambelts.com now for a quote and more information on how you can become a champion today. Pro-Am Belts, the official championship makers of Catalyst Wrestling.
The following contest is part of the Saigao Singles Tournament, sponsored by Future Legend. Introducing first, to my left, weighing in at allegedly 750 pounds.
What?
He is the Colossal Mike Law!
A lot of possibility, a lot of potential, but he gets easily distracted.
Rolling through the middle rope. Gets caught though. Gibkey has him up.
Wow.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a first round match in the Saigao Tag Team Tournament.
Look at this. hip toss from Colossal Mike Law.
Tag, but didn't. Deep arm drag there, holding on to it. Looking for the forearm here.
All we know is poor intern Lucas.
Oh, wait a minute! Turning Mike Law inside out is Monster Mac. Oh, Mike Law coming out early here.
There you go. That's the heart of Catalyst Wrestling, apparently. No class. Not even waiting for the bell to start the match.
Both men, fatigue setting in. Russian leg sweep, nailed, floated over. Law here. Oh, inside out goes Law, and you can count to 1,000. 1, 2, 3. And what is next for the heart and soul of Catalyst Wrestling? Mike Law, this makes me sick.
Welcome back to Catalyst Wrestling. I'm Dave Lee. As mentioned at the top of the broadcast, ever since 2019, Mike Law has been affected by the curse of Juanita, as he has yet to win a match ever since losing the Sapphire Television title. Law, an integral part of the locker room here at Catalyst, and to be honest, a very good friend of mine who I greatly admire, has called out the dangerous heavy of the Carter Group in O'Shea Edwards to a match on this week's episode of Catalyst Wrestling. Now, in order to get an idea of what his mindset is going into this bout, we turn to our own Chris Vega.
Chris Vega here with the Colossal Mike Law. Mike, it's been 2 years since you dropped that Sapphire Television title. 2 years since you won your last match. You're dealing with the Sapphire Television title curse. What's the game plan going in here tonight against O'Shea Edwards?
The game plan is simple. One of my students the other day walked up to me, did the sign of the cross, and he prayed for me. He said a prayer because he said that O'Shea Edwards would be the one. He would be the one that would finally put an end to Mike Law. O'Shea Edwards, you made your debut here, and you beat me. Tonight, in front of the fans, the people who've supported this company since day one, you will see a different Mike Law. You will see a Mike Law that's no longer colossal, a Mike Law that's going back to basics. I said it before. There are people who time and time again have denied me, who have doubted me. O'Shea Edwards, I want you to be one of those people to doubt me. Please doubt me. Know for a fact, I will die. Yes, I will die in the middle of the ring before I give in and to defeat.
Thanks, Chris. But before we head ringside, we're gonna go from the first ever two-time singles champion in Catalyst Wrestling history to the first ever two-time tag team champions, as next week, The Rep returned to action to take on the man who trained them, in Black G's, and a man that they both helped school in Griffin McCoy. That's right, it's The Rep versus Heat right here on Catalyst Wrestling. But before that, we need to see if Mike Law can finally break the curse of Juanita. When we return to Catalyst Wrestling, it's Stephen James, it's HC Loke, it's Brendan Lewis on the call as Mike Law and O'Shea Edwards do battle in our epic main event.
This show is brought to you by Downtown Sports, where sports come home. They've had guests that include Kenny Albert, Ian Eagle, Pat Creighton, Brian Hoke, and more. To hear the best sports, listen to Downtown Sports, where sports come home, on Spotify, Breaker, Anchor, Radio Public, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Bullhorn, Podbay, and Listen Notes. Downtown Sports, where sports come home. Experience the peak of New York nightlife at any of Sapphire's 3 locations in the heart of New York City. World-class food, world-class bartenders, and world-class entertainment and atmosphere, Sapphire New York will leave you wanting more. Find out on how you can have an elite experience at nysapphire.com. And there you see him. The first ever two-time champion in Catalyst Wrestling history, a two-time Sapphire Television Champion, the Colossal Mike Law, with a different mindset these days, going back to basics after now being on almost a 2-year losing streak. due to what people are calling the curse of the Sapphire Television Championship. Now, Loke, do you buy into curses?
I've never believed in curses. I do believe in slumps, but I also believe that these Catalyst Wrestling fans, they're happy to see Mike Law tonight.
He is standing at 6'3", 275 pounds, representing the card and accompanied by Ron Starr. This is the Big Bad Kaiju, O'Shea Edwards.
An imposing figure.
And in this corner, standing 5'6" and weighing significantly less, this is Colossal. This is Back to Basics, Mike Law.
And you see, coming out here without the barbell, without the flash, without the glitz, he's spoken a lot about getting back to basics, and we see that here. We'll see that in his approach here tonight. Will that mean a victory?
Stick it and move.
Oh, absolutely.
He's got to go back to basics, but this is an advanced class when you're working with the Big Bad Kaiju.
He's got to stay out of that hold, looking for that bear hug again. At any moment, if O'Shea Edwards locks him in that Kaiju squeeze, it could be over in an instant.
Man, O'Shea Edwards is put together.
I do not envy back to basics, Mike Law. Trying to create some sort of range to keep O'Shea at bay. And now firing away.
Fire up on him.
Love to see Mike Law fired up here in the early goings, taking it right to O'Shea. But the power advantage apparent immediately. Oh, and now Edwards has him up. Dropping out the back. Oh, and now sending O'Shea Edwards to the outside.
You know, the only thing I've got to say about Mike Law right now. Hold on,
wait, on the apron.
Right in the face.
Right on the button. Going into the ring.
Don't waste your time.
Look at this.
Diving through the middle, but caught.
No.
Oh, no. Oh! That spinal cord right into the metal ring post again.
Ah, this is painful to watch.
And you see the pain on his face as he stretches.
Just stretching him around that corner post.
You could hear the vertebrae.
Referee might have to stop the match even before we get to 10. What I was going to say is I really felt that Mike Law's biggest advantage is that he is primarily a singles competitor. And O'Shea Edwards, we've seen mainly in tag team competition as part of the Carter Group.
Well, we've seen some tensions with the Carter Group. How long can someone, like O'Shea Edwards, continue to be, I'm going to say in the shadow of someone like Darius Carter?
I think you're reading too much into a very small confrontation.
We know what happened at the Doors match a few months back, though. Is the Carter Group really all on the same page?
Of course they are, because Darius Carter is the leader of this group. And he put the Big Bad Kaiju, the young man, in his place. And now look, he is ready for this fight.
Oh, and he has that bear hug locked.
Just ragdolling him. Look at him.
I'm sure Darius Carter is proud right now watching this. Look at that.
Those massive arms.
He's not letting
go.
There's
Mike Law's fighting.
Oh,
he's fighting. He let him go.
I'm shocked.
Ducking underneath. Caught again. Oh, look at the power tossing him up. Vertical suplex with the delay to boot.
Blood rushing to his head.
Just toying with Mike Law now, and
O'Shea Edwards is scary strong.
He ties him up in a good cover right now, and I think he's got his win.
Unfortunately, the path of redemption for Mike Law goes through a mountain of a man here.
What would you say Mike Law weighs? If he weighs 175 pounds, every ounce of it is in his heart.
Much has been made about Mike Law being the heart of Catalyst Wrestling. The people have been behind him since day one, and he needs them now more than ever
Back
as
in that
he is
squeeze.
locked in that Kaiju squeeze. torquing on that rib cage.
I don't think that means
Oh, shoulders down.
Trying not to pass out is Mike Law. He breaks it once again. Mongolian chop. Creates the separation he needs. Fighting back. We've seen this many times. The heart of a champion beats inside of Mike Law.
Up and over.
Here we go. Underneath.
Oh, straight in the face.
This is the opportunity to break that streak. Really? Sweet neck breaker.
Big man down.
But he's right back up.
He has to keep this momentum.
He's going to get him up. He got him up. He got him up.
No.
Oh, but buckling under the weight. And now caught.
There's that squeeze from behind.
Locked in. And those elbows again.
Still holding on. Still holding on.
Oh, on the back of his head.
Dangerous intent. Everything O'Shea Edwards does is mean and
merciless.
And another
ugly German.
No.
And now getting him up.
Oh!
It's
Count to 20.
It's over. Nick Shin could have counted to 1,000. It didn't matter here.
People think, for whatever reason, I don't like Mike Law. That's not true. I just don't think he should be in there getting pummeled like this.
Pummeled?
It's over.
You show a lack of respect every time to somebody like Mike Law. Mike Law is a guy who will take any challenge at any point, and he went toe-to-toe with one of the biggest powerhouses in this company. And he barely lost.
We said it earlier. Mike Law has the heart. He is the heart and soul of Catalyst Wrestling, and as long as he wants to fight, he deserves the chance to do it. That's the kind of athlete we want here.
Terrible.
Mike Law still in the ring here, being carted out as the Big Bad Kaiju led by the righteous right hand Ron Starr. And you hear the Catalyst faithful here, still, regardless, in spite of people like you, Brandon Lou, firmly behind Mike Law.
I am behind him getting another job in this company. Loke is doing a fantastic job behind commentary. Why not Mike Law? Isn't it nice here?
It's pretty nice.
Oh, he can take your spot,
nice, and it doesn't hurt.
Oh, he can try.
He can take his spot.
Well, you could. Do you want to wrestle O'Shea next match?
Not in your life. I made the smart choice. Mike Law should make that smart choice too.
Tired of horror conversations beginning and ending around Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers? Top Cult, a brand new horror podcast from horror aficionados Kyle Davis and Blaze Dahl, is now available on YouTube. Covering underground to mainstream, be sure to check out topcult.com for upcoming episodes and events. Top Cult, it's what's for breakfast.
If you want rebellion, if you want violence, if you want action, if you want wrestling, this is the DVD you need. Buy the uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged event that will make you feel something you haven't felt in a long time. The only show to step into the world of comedy. The show that brought Homicide back to Brooklyn. This is New York City. This is Skankfest. This is Catalyst Wrestling. Skankfest 2019. Available July 7th on DVD.
While Mike Law was unable to right the ship this week, O'Shea Edwards definitely strengthened his case for a title shot against Steve Gipke for the Sapphire Television Championship. Rumors have been swirling around that Edwards is next in line for the TV crown, but a promise made by Steve Gipke to Tony Vincita may prevent the Big Bad Kaiju from being able to challenge for the title on November 5th at The Real Deal. And while one challenger awaits his shot at the title, two former champions are looking at their chance for a third run with Tag Team Gold, as next week the Rep battle heat in a tag team war that could have title shot implications. Until then, I'm Dave Lee, and this has been Catalyst Wrestling.